Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a leading national expert who's going to teach you how to sell your company for maximum value. His story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So I have a family company, and so I'm not intending to sell my company anytime soon. My kids and hopefully my grandkids take over this thing. But I know many people my age and a little bit older are exiting their business, and their kids don't want anything to do with their business. That's when they turn to somebody like my next guest, Michael D. Rubin. He's the founder and CEO of MDR Associates. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I learned that you and I have something in common. Neither of us came from any financial success. We're both kind of scrappy.
Yep.
Tell us the early part of your life.
Oh gosh, was born and raised here in Dallas, Texas. Went to Lake Highlands High School. Graduated Texas Tech with an architecture degree, as many people. Never used the degree. Brother was very successful in a sales career. I looked at what my brother was doing. I said, I think I've got his skill set, so I'll jump into the entrepreneurial world at age 25. And so started building companies, and I started building my small company at that time. It was a telecommunications company. We all know what happened in 2000, the telecom crash. And so I got into luxury automotive with Park Place Lexus. I sold for Highland Huntington Homes. And in 2008, I did the familiar thing that you did, Jeff, and I kind of threw caution to the wind, put everything I've ever made in the middle of the table, and started my M&A advisory firm at that time in 2008. It's the worst time to sell businesses in the history of selling businesses.
And sometimes starting at the beginning of a recession is good for guys like you and me. If you start during the boom times, you could get greedy and take on too much business and not be able to service the business. So I completely appreciate your journey and your tenacity. We're going to pull up your website. And as we scroll down the website, I just want to brag about you because you're incredibly successful, and everything that I hear about you is your company's built on honor and integrity. Talk a little bit about that and why that's so important to you.
Gosh, I can remember back in my office in 2008, daily prayer, praying that one day we'd be successful, but more importantly, that we would help business owners maximize the sale of their business, because it's a very fragmented industry. It's hard to decide which M&A advisor or business broker to use. And so from the very beginning, it was founded on prayer, and it was founded on Matthew 6:33. Seek the kingdom first and his righteousness, and everything will be added. What does that look like in our firm? We pray before meetings. We prayerfully consider taking on a client. We probably only take 1 out of 5 clients at this time. So we might meet with 100 like we did this year and only choose 15 or 20 clients. And they have to select us, and we have to select them.
Wow. And when you've got some exciting news about a book, let's talk about your book. And we've got the book that we're going to put on the screen. When does it come out? And tell us more about the book.
Mid-year this year, our biggest year ever, 2023, was twice what we've ever done in the history of the firm. And so we were blessed with larger size transactions, a $20 million transaction we did, a $7.5 million transaction. And around July, I was talking with our VP of Exit Strategy, Todd Hutchinson, and I said, Todd, I think I've got a book inside of me on how, after meeting with 3,000 business owners, closing 220 businesses successfully over 15 years, that we've developed people and process, right? And so how do I share that with the business owner? And I mentioned it to Todd, and Todd said, well, get after it then, buddy. Go ahead and write it. And I said, I'm not a writer. He goes, I've read some of your stuff. You're a pretty good writer. I said, I'm not a very good writer. He goes, just trust me. Just get after it. So 40 days later, the book was written. 13 chapters, really easy to read. It takes you on that. It navigates you through that daunting process of selling your company for maximum value, from the first discovery meeting all the way to the celebration dinner at Bob's Chop House with us. So
Wow.
I think people are going to enjoy that our secret sauce and what we've learned and what we do, and our 4K video or our marketing package, the way we qualify buyers, the way we negotiate offers are all in the book in 14 easy chapters. My intention is never to sell the book for money, for monetary gain, but to sell it to raise money for the nonprofits that I support.
Wow. Yes, I want to talk more about your philanthropy in a second, but I also want to brag on, he's got these wonderful testimonial videos. If you come to his website, you can spend hours just watching these wonderful testimonies. Let's go ahead and roll one now.
When we found Michael, I found somebody that I could trust. We weren't just looking to sell our company. We were looking to protect our company in moving forward. We wanted to step back. We wanted the company to prosper and move forward and grow. And with that, we have, several employees, and we wanted those guys to prosper and grow and continue to be happy with the company. So he knew our goals going in, and we knew that we might not find the right buyer in a real quick manner. In comparison to what we were prepared for and finding the right buyer, I still feel like he brought a buyer on fast. And we vented probably 6 to 12 buyers over that process. The situation that we were talking about where Michael blew the whole deal up, I feel like he knew that that wasn't the buyer for me, but he handled it very professionally. He went in, we had a meeting, and he said, you guys are not a good fit for this company, and I'm sorry, but we're going to continue on to look for the right type of buyer. His heart was in making the right deal, not necessarily making a deal. Sometimes making a deal is easy to pull off, but you want both parties. He wants to make sure that we're happy as the sellers, and I think that he did a really good job of making sure that I was happy, and a really good job making sure that the buyers were happy. This is a two-way street. He actually saved us from a bad buyer. And in fact, a day or two after the deal had been blown up, I called him and I said, listen, I know that everyone's looking at you as the guy that blew up the deal, but now you're I feel like you're my guy. I need you to sell this company, and no one's going to get it done better than you. Michael, within days, had numerous buyers back on the table, had numerous offers back on the table, and within weeks we were looking at potential buyers again. We sold our company, and we needed someone with a little bit more capital that could take us to the next level. I bought back into the company so that later, as the company grows, I get a second bite at the apple, if you will, and potentially if the company of our size triples or quadruples, then I'm at the same level that I was when I sold out. So it's exciting to see the growth. We're growing another facility. We're looking at different facilities all over the U.S. So it's a really exciting time for the company itself. I think Michael's successful for many reasons. Number one is he's genuine. Honesty, integrity was important. I wanted someone that could not only sell our product, but also someone that I could stand behind as being a good individual with good morals and good values, because he's a representation of our company. I'd been in business 35 years. I didn't know anything about selling a company or acquisitions or investment groups or anything like that. For lack of better terms, we were a mom and pop business that grew to a certain size that we were ready to grow to the next size. We needed someone to come in and help us make that transition.
So what impressed me most about that story, Michael, is that you blew up a deal. And there would be other people in your industry who would just, let's get the thing closed. Take me back to that time. What caused you to walk away?
First and foremost, in that prayerful time in 2008, I really feel like I work unto the Lord, right? So it's not about just getting a deal done, it's getting the right deal done, right? The right deal is more important than the right money, the right structure, and the right buyer to carry on the generational legacy of the business. So the first person that I thought was the right buyer didn't show his real true self until we got in the deal. And when he visited out at Hughes Tank, it was very evident, just from the reaction from the staff there, was like, we just don't like him at all. And use some names I can't repeat on your show. So I called Vicki Hughes, my seller, and Bobby, who they worked together there. I said, Vicki, Bobby, deal terms don't matter if this is the feeling and the names that this gentleman's being called. So I think we need to cancel the letter of intent. And they said, well, are you serious? I said, I really believe deal terms don't matter if the right buyer is not identified. Because I made the mistake out of our 220 deals of selling the wrong company to the wrong buyer. And that's our job, is to be the gatekeeper, to get somebody with high integrity, just like the Hughes family, that's going to take care of, because there's some family members that worked inside that company. Wow. So it's super important that we defend, we bring in people that will carry on that generational legacy, not just the right price, not just the right structure. That's the easy part. The hard part is finding the cultural fit where the generational legacy of Hughes Tank is intact. Yes. And luckily, 3 months later, we found the right buyer. 3 months after that, we closed with the perfect buyer. As a matter of fact, Bobby, who you saw in the video, reinvested into the new entity and is working alongside the new group.
Wow.
And it's just fantastic.
Amazing.
It's fantastic.
Again, I said there's hours and hours of testimonials. Let's go ahead and roll another one.
I met Michael Rubin probably 30 years ago. He was in a fraternity in Texas Tech University and drove his motorcycle down here to see his brother, who's my best friend, and knew he was going to be a superstar at whatever he did. I don't want to say I'm one of the top realtors in town, but I deal with a lot of people with a lot of money and a lot of businesses, and everybody he's ever dealt with has, raved about him, and he's done a fantastic job. Whenever you have integrity and you do things right, it comes through. And I tell people all the time, if you just do what's right, it'll come back to you. And Mike seems to live by that. I don't know that I've ever met someone that was as passionate as Mike about getting a deal done. I can't imagine someone with more passion and that would go out and sell harder. He uses integrity, but that doesn't stop him from selling. He's still an unbelievable salesman. I can't imagine trusting somebody else that would go get the deal done better than him. I wouldn't trust him with anything.
Wow. And you could just watch these videos all day long, and you can tell that these are just people being interviewed about their experience with you, and I love that. And I'm going to get a chance to experience Michael because he is announcing a show today. It's called Championship Deal Team, and he's going to be doing it from our network. Talk more about the show.
Wow. Well, it started 30 years ago. I got married on the cruise ship on the Norway of Norwegian Cruise Lines, and I met a famous sports icon, a cowboy, a championship Dallas Cowboy named Ed Too Tall Jones. And we would literally be going around the ship. We'd go to bed, and I said, honey, I got to go play blackjack. I'd go play blackjack with Too Tall. And that was an incredible memory. I'll never forget it. Well, about a year and a half ago, I bumped back into Too Tall at Chamberlain Steakhouse. And we just started talking about what he's doing in retirement, and I brought up my business, and he said, I want to be a part of it. Mm. And he said, can I bring my buddy, my friend, my best friend? I said, who's that? He said, that's Randy White. And I said, Randy White? Wow, that's exciting. And so we had a series of meetings where they decided to become a partner / ambassador of our firm. So we had to kind of rebrand a new kind of maybe something around their championships, and we're going to call it the Championship Deal Team. And I'm just blessed and honored that they want to grow my little high-touch boutique M&A firm into something maybe bigger and help more business owners successfully sell their company for maximum value. And I'm very excited. We're going to announce it probably around January 15th with our new website, new and improved website. We did 4 video vignettes 2 weeks ago. Kind of like an ESPN 30 by 30 with 3 cameras, and they told stories that they have never, ever told anywhere on the planet. And because I guess the Holy Spirit came and they were comfortable, God was there, and the interchange and the stories about Randy, about Coach Landry and Bob Lilly, and it's just unbelievable. So as a matter of fact, immediately after the show, I'm going to meet Too Tall, and we're going to talk about the next steps. And But we got them the black metal card, business cards, and shirts and hats, and so
that's so
it's exciting.
All right, this is a little teaser video. Let's go ahead and roll this.
When we first meet with a client, they tell us their whole story, their value proposition, and what they want to accomplish. You guys won championships with the Cowboys back in the day. I'm honored that you're here. But our clients are focused on winning their own championship. They're focused on selling their company for maximum value in the shortest period of time and doing it confidentially and doing it with the right team. We're going to get to why you maybe think that we're a championship deal team. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about your championship days. The days with the Cowboys, with Tom Landry and Bob Lilly and those teammates that you guys have shared with me, all those stories. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's get into that a little bit, and then we'll come back around. Too Tall, take us back to the championship days with the Cowboys. What type of team did you need to put together to win a championship?
Well, one of the things we decided as a team that we were going to keep ourselves in the best shape possible during the off season. So that by the time we got to training camp, we were ready to get ready and gel as a team for that championship run. And the thing we wanted to do was pay that price that you have to pay. There's a price you have to pay to win championships. And it all started in training camp. The thing we wanted to do most was don't let nobody come in our backyard and beat us. Win those home games, still a couple on the road. Now you're in the playoffs. Once you're in the playoff with the coaching staff that we had, we knew we could win it all.
Randy White, the Manster. Take us back to the winning days, the championship days of the Cowboys. What did it take to be on that championship team?
There's so many qualities that you have to be a champion or be on a championship team. I would say empathy. We cared about each other. When we came to that practice field, we cared about each other, and we had one goal: to win football games, work with each other and get along with each other. So success doesn't just happen. It comes with a price.
Exactly.
You have to work hard. You have to pay a price. When the other guys quits, you got to keep going.
That's right.
We had strength. And when I talk about strength, I don't talk about how much weight you can lift or how strong you are. But when things got tough, and they always do, they always get tough, what do? Do you point the finger at the other guy? Do I point the finger at Ed and say it was Ed's fault or it was Harvey's fault? No. You look at yourself, and we did this as a team because of the leadership we had. You look at yourself and you say, what can I do to make this team better? And when you get each guy on the team doing that, now you got a chance to win. It doesn't guarantee it, but you got a chance to win. And we did. There's a lot of qualities, but those are some of the ones I think are very important.
Wow, what legends.
Oh, it was so much fun. That shoot was one of the highlights of my life to meet those sports icons. It really was very humbling. I called them sports icons, and they lit up. They won championships. Randy's in the NFL Hall of Fame. Humbling that they would want to come alongside me and the small team here at MDR in Frisco, Texas, and help more business owners. That's the goal.
Okay, and how can fans see these vignettes?
Well, our website will be updated by January 15th with the full unedited version of those videos, each one about 15 to 20 minutes long. And I'm telling you, from the stories about Landry and Bob Lilly and getting drafted, Tutaw was drafted first round, first pick.
Wow.
In 1974. So he tells a story about that. Randy talks about when he retired. I won't ruin it, but he talks about joining the coaching staff with Coach Landry. It's definitely something that you're going to want to tune into.
Awesome.
And it was a blessing to be a part of it. It really was.
Okay, we talked earlier in the show that you're passionate about giving back. Talk a little bit about philanthropy.
Gosh, the old saying, it's better to give than receive. We give a portion of every success fee to 3 different nonprofits. First, St. Jude, because I think they do great work. I mean, think about if your child had to go through a surgery and you didn't have the money. They pay for it, right? So it's incredible what St. Jude does. We give a portion to St. Jude. Secondly, I'm really passionate about a young lady. Her name is Leah, and she runs a nonprofit called Leah's Kids. Leah's Kids comes alongside families that get the horrific news their 2, 3, 4, 8-year-old's going to die of cancer in 2 weeks, 4 weeks. She does a crowning party. She does last wishes. I just got a phone with her on the way over here, and I just like giving my time, my treasure, my talent to Leah's Kids. She's doing great work, and think about it. I mean, what's better than that? It feels better to support those things sometimes than sell companies. It just does. And then the third one I'm really, really excited about. We've done significant work for 3 years with Amazon Outreach. At Amazon Outreach, we like to say we're going to sell a company to save a village. They put in water wells along the Amazon. People are drinking dirty water, completely dirty water along the Amazon, and the animals aren't healthy. The kids are dying. The families are dying. Amazon Outreach takes a boat, 3-deck, 4-decker boat along the Amazon, brings in supplies, optometrists, dentists, supplies, builds a water well. So the village gets electricity and fresh water. So there's light. And then, of course, they present the gospel at that time. And I have an evangelistic kind of calling on my life, and I just love that organization. Wow. So Steve, the executive director, and I, Steve Trammell, meet on a regular basis, and anything I can do to help those causes, look over my fence, because you get to an age where maybe you've had some success like you have, Jeff. There's got to be more.
Right.
With to look over your fence and see a need and just go meet the need. I had a nonprofit I did a while ago called Be the Body Foundation, where we gave to single moms, widows, and orphans, and we did it and still haven't met those people. But I love to give.
Wow. Well, you have a servant leader's heart. We're almost out of time. Any final thoughts? What would you like to leave people with?
If you're thinking about selling your company and you've been, our clients a lot of times will battle with that for 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 24 months. I met with a OBGYN medical practice gentleman today, 72 years old, and we're going to list his company next week. And he wants to take a younger, somebody, maybe a resident, under his wing, right? There's 1,000 ways to structure your exit. If you've been thinking about selling your company, but you don't know the process, please get a complimentary copy of my book, go through the 14 chapters and contact us, or I can refer you to another firm. My goal is that everybody learns that selling a company, yes, it's very complicated. It's very sophisticated, there's a lot of steps. My book kind of boils it down to that 10-step unique process that we patented and we've practiced now for 15 years. We have a 90% success rate. We're a Christian-led firm. That just means we're going to be high integrity, high transparency, high confidentiality at all times.
And as we close the show, I understand you have a gift for me.
I do. I have a championship deal team hat.
Love it.
Championship deal team hat, because I know you're going to be doing a lot of the podcast with us, the video podcast and the show. And
then on the back,
Yep. And on the back, it's just, what is the back? Travis Matthew. That means it's a quality golf
There
hat.
you go.
You're going to go
All
to
right,
a tournament.
all right.
I'd like you to, I'll represent your
There you go.
brand. That is awesome. Pull it down.
I love it.
Right there.
I love it. Okay, we're out of time. We're going to leave you with his website, which is sellmycompanynow.com. The great Michael D. Rubin. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.